Okay, Blended episode 3, take 2.
Never read these questions before. Let's not embarrass myself this time. Okay.
Drea, this is episode 2.
Oh my gosh.
I have so many memories of my dad picking me up and making a comment about my hair. Either it looks really big or the curls are super curly and they look really nice and it puts a smile on his face.
We're all Hindu, but my grandma is definitely the most practicing. And in the mornings when I would sleep over at my grandma's house, she had like this little mini temple, I guess you could call it. It's almost like the size of a dollhouse, and she has like all her like little like candles and little mini lanterns, and I would pray with her at her temple, and that was always something that I really loved.
Whenever I'm able to embrace my blackness, it's always been celebrated by my parents, and they're happy. They're genuinely happy for me. Yeah, they're happy for me.
My mother would always read me stories about Kwanzaa and would always tell me about Kwanzaa because my name is one of the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. The last day of Kwanzaa is called Imani Day.
I think that there are generations and generations of people who came before me with languages I wouldn't understand, who prayed differently and ate differently, and maybe they would be strangers to me, but I'm not a stranger to them. Because I carried their languages and prayers and foods and fears and hopes.
Because it took all of them, to make me.
The word white is also seen as the default racially, which is why if you're white, your race gets to be invisible. No one sees it. There's no one feels the need to categorize you because they are comfortable enough with that default to define you by whatever else is on your page rather than needing to flatten you. But nobody asks because they assume. And I think the reason that they would need to ask anyone else is because if you can put somebody into a box, if you can put them into a category, a linear idea, then, like I said, you can flatten them. And if you can flatten them, then you don't have to confront what's inside.
At my dad's house, my aunt, who recently passed away, every holidays she would make her biscochitos, which are cookies, and they are so good, and she would always bring them over for every holiday, and they would be gone within like 30 seconds, and they were so good.
When I think of the resiliency of our culture, the resiliency the black community has had now through everything that we faced and have had to go through for centuries, that the real constant that has always been so important and strong that I've noticed is that there's always been a sense of community.
But why is it okay for us to dip into the infinities of white people and not people who have darker skin? It doesn't make any sense. It's so arbitrary. I mean, maybe that's why. It's like you picking infinities from infinities is like also a difficult task. So you pick it based on the first thing you can see, because otherwise you're already dipping into an infinity of possible ways to separate people. And of course there's lots of other ways that people are separated, but it's funny how easy skin color is.
Although us as mixed people, we all have a different story, and we all come from so many different places, we all look different. So many things that would normally make people think that we should be different and separated are exactly what brings us together.
Hi, we're the Copeland sisters. We're getting ready to go to bed. But first we're gonna watch some TV. And we got some churros.
I always had this pride when I'd show them this big painting we have in our dining room, which is a portrait of my great-grandmother, like an actual portrait, oil paint. Like, she got all pretty and sat there for a couple hours as a real painter painted her.
And it's funny, I think maybe the in-between is also a scary sort of place to be, but it's also the most beautiful place to be. Well, it's like another little infinity, and that just in that in-between space. And that is so exciting to me, and it's really distressing that people are so afraid to live in that.
We like celebrate often. It's just like an everyday thing. Yeah, and like they embrace that I get to have two cultures, and that it's really cool. My mom goes to those parties, my Mexican parties, my dad goes to Filipino parties, and yeah, they all clash, and it's all fun.
Adrian, smile. Act like we're laughing that we love each other.